to do it that way.
We do? I can't even get in there.
I'm gonna fix it.
Okay.
It's gonna be me and Sean side by side. Hold on. Scoot around. I might even be able to stand up and do it better. Yeah, I'll stand. I can stand. I do anyway.
You can?
Yes. He's loading up our live stream. Hey, Melinda. So I was thinking about you today, Melinda, because Tiny has been rather boring lately, but he does have a behavior. We have a back door on the chicken coop, and it's for us to walk in and out, like when we need to clean it. You can open it, but typically you don't leave it open because the chickens go through the small square if they're looking for, like, if they are running from a predator, and most of the times the predator won't go in. Hey, Jocelyn. Hey, Jorge. Hey, Karen. It's good to see you. They don't, that's a lot of times on cat towers when you've got like one of those cute little boxes and it's got a hole. If you notice, a lot of times your cat probably doesn't go in it very often because they always have to have an exit of any containment that they go in. They want to think that they have to have an exit in case they have to. So that's why they don't use that so often.
I need the right hat.
But so it's but with chickens, they kind of bank on the bigger predators aren't gonna like come in there since there's not another exit. Anyway, my point is, this is kind of funny. Tiny does not want that back door open on the coop. So when we open it, you'll have to get.
I have to get closer to you. Oh, look.
He's got a stiff neck.
Yeah, I know.
But it's okay considering you scoot closer this way, and I'll be like this.
That way. That's
I
cool.
can't.
Hey, I can sit down. You can be taller than me. What if I get a pillow to sit on?
So we call Tiny the fire marshal. We say that he always comes and looks at that door and goes, "This is a fire door. You keep this door shut." Doesn't he?
But he doesn't say it. It kind of sounds like blah, blah, blah,
he does. Tiny, Sean will be like, "What's Tiny bitching about?" And I'll be like, "You might want to bring that chair."
This one?
Yeah. Tiny will be bitching about, "Oh, thank you, Dee. Thank you so much. I hope you're okay with me saying out loud, thank you so much." It goes to the chickens, and we are going to get chicken supplies tomorrow. And also I've got to get Sawyer Shih Tzu food. But it's all for the animals. But thank you, Dee, for real. Thank you.
I'll just use this.
Okay.
Look.
Yeah. So what I was trying to, before he left, he was like, "Can I use it?" And I was like, "You can use it," because he didn't want me to go, don't use that pillow on here.
But I can, right? No?
Of course you can. That pillow
You're the boss, babe.
That pillow was from IKEA like 8 years ago. We're going to be closing cozy this time.
We're going to be intimate to here today.
So
You need to get in here. They want to see you.
But I am. We just have to. Okay. We'll get used to how standing this close, which is different.
What's up, folks?
So, hey, yoga. For those of you, I was just, hey, Hope, she is. Like, she didn't do her Miss Captain and Mrs. Troop today. She said my hair was pretty. Thank you.
Public service announcement.
Loretta.
I think that Mandi ATX looks particularly hot today.
Thank
I do.
You. Thank you.
I mean, I think it all the time, but right now, it.
We heard, this is a little bit of tea. We heard just before, while we were getting ready, that Sam and Yaba have gotten engaged. I'm not sure how, when, why, what the story is. But go for it. Better you than me.
I said, Yaba, how old is Yaba?
I don't know.
30s, in her mid-30s?
She's probably pushing 40 now.
So I was pushing 40 when I got into my relationship with my sociopath. So good for you, Yaba. Jump right in head first.
Now you're legally going to have to get rid of her.
Now you're legally going
to. Hope you have a prenup, because if you think that she won't take you for half of everything because you're special, she won't. Will you keep up with it? I see Paula.
Yeah, she says, be careful every time you show your love for each other. A certain former stripper gets very jealous. That could be a couple of people, really.
She's talking about Al. Al's almost joining the level of lot lizard. Girl, she goes for us all the time. Nobody's paying attention to you.
There's a whole group of people over there that have their breastises on Google, and they're all kind of get together, kind of like you got Moonberry, you got Al, you got TT, and there's one other, and they're all kind of together.
Well, it came out like I bet I could make both of us in this. Thank you. It does. I can't say for sure that moon bears have been. I know she sent suggestions.
Oh, she sent them. They're not on Google yet.
But on Google,
right. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, owls are definitely on Google, and I don't understand how and why they got there. But my point was,
she blames it on an eating disorder. I mean,
well,
whatever.
Anyway, my message to you, owls, just keep talking about us.
Yeah.
Nobody's worried about you.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Sawyer sitting over there.
He's over there like.
So it's Saturday.
You okay, buddy?
It's earlier. It's earlier in the Saturday.
I keep thinking it's Sunday,
you
but.
can really stand behind me. Would that work?
Oh yeah.
But I don't want to make you stand the whole time.
I'm good.
Hey, Camps. Here, let me scoot up.
Yeah, move that over, and then I'll stand next to you. We're gonna kind of be like one of those football shows where they.
Well, that's what I was
all
saying.
have to be in. But look, I'm too tall.
Well, that's why I was thinking. That's good. Perfect. Is that good, you guys? Perfect.
How about this? This should be perfect. Look.
Hello, Jocelyn. Ho ho.
Is that perfect?
Jude, hey. Well, you're not in it. There she goes. She said hello. No, you were good. Where are you going now?
It's not up.
It's up. Thank you, Karen. Karen put to me, like, if we get talked about several days in a row.
I know, and we don't even do anything.
Yeah, I'm like, at least put ours out there. He would have been fine right here. I'm not sure.
Every little thing,
I'll scoot over.
Look at that. They took 10 minutes trying to figure out how to.
Oh.
Go ahead, sit back.
But every time you move to a place that doesn't work.
But now it works.
Okay, then we got it. We got it.
We could do like other couples do and just go in different rooms and have a panel. But
hey, Stitchy, no, as long as we don't keep bumping the table, that drives me crazy. So, tell me where we were. We said congratulations. We said, Karen put our PayPal link in there. Thank you. Actually, to be fair, a couple people did ask. But since Sean's Anatomy has made such content for the last few days, the money is for his content, for his junk.
I mean,
do you even really know?
I don't know. I don't know what's been said. No, but sometimes I walk through the post office and a particular body part starts to burn a little bit, or light up, and I'm like, it's being talked about.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I was like, what? Yeah. So it's been pretty noteworthy over the last, 3, 4. You don't even have to. You type it. You check in every hour or so, and then it's still being talked about. And so I'm like, well, if money's gonna be made off of Sean's Anatomy, we're gonna do it too.
Let's talk about it.
No, let's not talk about it.
It is so insert word.
I know. Let me catch up. Yes. Oh, she put the Cash App in there too. Sean needs to make a dicey calendar with the exposure he's gotten lately.
I know.
So, because the accusation was that your cousin sent it to her, and it was yours. And
how would that even work?
Well, then when she doxed the person whose profile she tracked it back to, it had nothing to do with that. I think we already talked about. No, I talked about it.
The only thing I've heard lately is someone said that someone on her OnlyFans she doxed, and I'm like,
and called his wife.
And
called his wife.
So for all of the people that are like hate watching us and rage watching us, that's your girl.
My question is, how would anyone want to keep subscribing if you're going to call the people? Because I would imagine 75% of the people that are signed up to that.
I can see the scenario. She feigns, she feigns horror because she has a person that has an OnlyFans has their private parts on there. So somebody watches them and then sends her something, and they act like they're appalled. You have an OnlyFans, man.
I could be. Hey, Carlos, I might be wrong. But wouldn't you guess about 75% of OnlyFans subscribers are married?
I don't know. I have no idea. I think of this. If I was subscribed, and if I was so inclined to subscribe to anybody's OnlyFans, and then I heard, that, say somebody's got OnlyFans with I don't know how many people. Let's say they've got 100 people, right?
Right.
And I'm one of them. And then this person has actively gone after and called the wife of one of their members, I would be very, very sheepish to have myself known as a member. Because if you have OnlyFans, can't you see your members list? You can, right?
I don't know if it's like, well, I mean, I would assume you would know who would follow you, just like Twitter.
Kind of like Patreon. You can see who subscribes to you, right?
But I tell you what, this situation notwithstanding, you know, my ex, whoever it was, I like thinking, if someone called me and said, I just wanted to let you know that your husband is subscribed to my OnlyFans and that he's sent a dirty picture through email, I think that I would be like, okay, thank you. Like, what can be done about that? Especially if it was some histrionic woman. And then she put the girl on FaceTime, Sean.
But I think there's something deeper than that. Because you got to know at some level that you're interfering with those
Melinda.
those particular household that you have gotten a hold of. You're now interfering and you're fucking with their home.
And that's what she said. She said, I have kids.
Right. Oh,
she did? Yeah, she goes, I can't, I need to know because, I mean, I've got kids because then Trisha calls on FaceTime and is crying and saying she's a vlogger. She's like, I'm live right now. And so.
If I said it once, I said it a million times. The people that are supporting that person and they're encouraging that person, this is what she's going to continue to do this stuff to people. You remember when Mandi and I, before we were together, and my former neighbor called me, I was in Cincinnati, and said that this particular person was doing a phone show and then sending them to my neighbor's address and telling them that the door was open and for them to just walk right in. You guys remember that? So I get a phone call. I wasn't with her, anymore, but it was like, what's going on? There's a young Marine at my door, and he's saying that, she told him to come over here, and how dangerous that is. So I talked to that young Marine. I said, look, this is what's going on. Y'all remember that when that happened? This is the same type of thing. She's messing with their household. She's going to get people hurt. And it's not cool.
And you also,
it's not cool.
I would never want to put someone in the corner where it's their marriage, their relationship with their wife. You know what I mean?
Right. Or sending somebody under false pretenses into a stranger's home where they could get killed.
Yeah.
They could get in a lot of trouble.
When it happened.
If someone, as a joke, decided to tell somebody to knock on my door or walk through the door is open, and somebody that I do not know walks through my door, I don't know what I would do to them. I don't know what I would do to protect Mandi.
Insane. She just,
it's not cool.
No, it's not. None of it's based on, if you Google research, because we're not doctors, psychosis, and what a period of time of psychosis consists of, you'll probably find your answer right there. Because you always find that how we get a lot of the, how in the fuck do y'all deal with it day after day after day? And there's a couple of things. First of all, I knew it was part of the deal.
I'm so lucky. I'm fortunate for that.
When you fall in love with somebody in the same sandbox as you, already knows everything. You're not surprised when you get served with a summons simply because you happen to be with her husband that she was separated from, and that pisses her off. So she has you served with a summons. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you.
That really helps.
It does.
Y'all have no idea how much that helps. So I wasn't surprised. I was like, here we go. We go to court.
So we don't have to.
Never been to court.
We don't have to eat ramen tonight.
No, but you want hot dogs for your ramen.
That's right.
We're trying to be funny to make a point.
We're funny. Thank you so much.
We don't have what we have. I'm gonna mix together.
I mean, what Mandi is telling you though is her knowledge of what she was stepping into when she decided to enter a relationship with me. I'm so fortunate. I was talking the other day about the community and this and that, and we were texting. I was at work, and I said, I can't go in on the drama community too much and the people there too much, because I met the love of my life.
Thank you. I don't know. I don't want to say your name out loud. If you want to say
if you're in the chat, you can let us know.
Thank you. I got the notification. Thank you.
I have to be careful when I talk about relationships that begin here and this and that, because for me, it literally, I found the love of my life. I found my soulmate, and it saved me on so many different levels that I cannot deny that.
No.
I cannot deny that. So
it's good to know. And I had, like I said, I had never ever been arrested to court, nothing in my entire life. So
and you know they've looked.
that was a first, and it was the first to have something basically call you on a piece of paper the defendant. That was crazy. You know,
Yeah.
so that was, and there's a video for those of you who haven't seen it. It says, truthfully, Trisha perjured herself, whatever. That was our thing.
But it's because of her choices to be with me, you know, and that I'm grateful. And I say that to anybody that, you talk about a couple of people that just got engaged and what they're signed up for. You are now part of that. So when you start going into court and you start doing stuff, you are a representation of each other.
Hey, Kay.
You know, every once in a while, you know, I talk about social media at work, and, you know, people know about Dr. Phil, and they know a little bit about whatever. And, you know, when it comes up with me and Mandi, the question gets asked, could you have started a relationship with me or wanted to go out with me knowing that was tracking you down? And most people would go, I don't think so, man.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it, you know.
It was a no-brainer. When like the day that we got served, interestingly enough, was the same day Randy said she got swatted by Brian St. John.
Yes, and I wanted to bring that up.
I don't know that it's still, I don't know who actually did it.
Do you guys remember when Randy was going and trying to put a swatting on another YouTuber, Brian St. John, who, ironically enough, I was in the tub about 4 days ago, and I got a notice that Brian St. John posted our last vlog and told his folks to come and sub up to us. And some did. Our numbers went up a little bit because of the things that we had to say about Randy, not specifically Wendy. But so it's noticed. I mean, if you're following that shit show, the whole thing was sin. It's one person after another that's coming forward and, describing their experience that they've had with that person. Again, not necessarily Wendy, but with Randy throughout. And they're starting to come forward. I've had a couple creep into my DMs that were like, thank you for saying this. And talking when Mandi went on panel with Randy, people came out and were like, thank you for standing up to that. And this latest thing that's gone on, a lot of more people are doing it.
It was from 4 days ago, but I just listened to it yesterday, and it was the
Brian St. John thing was like 4 days ago.
Yeah, not that one. Not the Brian St. John thing. Oh, yeah, that. But no, what I was saying, they did a stream where it turned out that, and I'm going to tell you just how it went down. I don't know how it went down. None of us know how it went down, but apparently there was Tylenol 3. Tylenol with codeine is over the counter in the United Kingdom. I've lived there before. I know that. It was sent here. Bam said she sent it to Sin, and I don't know the circumstances. I do know, but who knows? We can't decide for someone else if it's a relapse or what have you. So it's been another one of those things kind of no one knew about for a long time, but now it's come out again. No shade, but we've got narcotics in the mail again. Did anybody know it was sent? Did they ask for it? Was it unsolicited? Whatever that.
Again. Who's the common denominator
once again
in all
is implicated, even though, and Randy doesn't remember.
She's got another case of amnesia.
She said they might have told her, she might have known, but she was going through menopause and she was going through all of these different things, and she certainly does not remember.
Yeah, but everybody else remembers. That's the whole point.
So, and at this point, I had done clips of, thank you, Karen, thank you.
Oh, you said carrot for a minute.
No, I said Karen.
But see, I can't see over there.
Thank you. Oh my God, thank you, Karen.
You guys are rocking.
That made me completely forget. All of you guys are
talking about the codeine 3 cent.
Oh, okay. So again, and it's whatever, they were like doing conversions. Wendy's doing conversions, trying to find out how much that opiate equals this opiate equals that, because she really didn't know anything about it. And we've already decided before she never knows anything about it, and that's probably the truth. But so they were talking about it, and it came out, and Randy says, I'm absolutely not saying that Bam is lying. Let me understand. Just because I don't remember, I'm not saying she's lying. And I'm quite sure you're tiptoeing on eggshells, because I bet you Bam and Sis, not Sis, Sin, your sis, might have a lot of information you don't want to come out. So you're going to tread lightly around that, because this is probably just the top of the, what is it?
It's the tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg.
More and more people are starting to come out with their experiences, and every time people like Bam, and there's a couple others, I won't mention them now, because as soon as, Randy doesn't like that. But what Randy doesn't do very often is leave her hug box. She doesn't go into other people's streams very often. She doesn't really, hasn't really realized what the opinion is starting to be. It's kind of what it always has been underneath the surface, is that she is, she's called the Noodle. Savage came up with that name, Noodle, because you can't really, she's going to go with whatever she thinks the public opinion, whatever story's going to work, she's going to kind of do that. And there's poor Wendy over here. She doesn't, I think you're right. I think she doesn't know a lot about what's going on.
She doesn't.
If you remember, Wendy's always been she's got some kind of, I don't know what it is about her. I don't know what the word is, but she has a tendency to be kind of the second fiddle to people that end up leaving or end up being part of it.
That need a second voice.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Randy's currently, but you remember she was Diane's other half. And before that, if you go way back, y'all remember Witch's Brew? How she kind of palled around with that guy until we exposed him for a few things.
At the end of the day, it wouldn't matter if the actual subject matter, because it's not real big news to know that Tylenol 3 was sent in the mail for whatever reason. It's interesting, who it was, but beyond that, it's not very interesting.
It's not.
So if Randy had gone, because Bam's saying that she told Randy. So if Randy was to go, yeah, I knew, or whatever, I just didn't, gone. But now she's going to say she doesn't remember.
She's doubling down all this stuff. Guess what, Randy? The truth will do.
And on this instance, and Daria, y'all all know Daria. She goes by different names, pretty level-headed. If she doesn't like something that you do, she's going to let you know that she doesn't like something that you do.
But she's pretty neutral and pretty fair.
She's an animal advocate, but pretty much she's just, she asked, and again, this was 4 days ago on Randy's stream, and I didn't watch it at the time, but I listened to the replay, and Randy read it out loud. What Daria said was something to the effect of, I'm not quoting it, but so Randy, you knew that Sin was a big old liar, and you still let people get close to her. And
we're all thinking that, by the way.
Yeah, right. And so Randy didn't like the question. So what she ended up saying was, if you're going to kick me when I'm down, you better, run when I'm up, or something like that.
When I get back up.
Nobody's scared about you. This is YouTube. Nobody's scared of you.
She's the least scary person around. No one cares if she talks about you. But the point is she has a history of doing that too. If she really gets pushed into a corner, she's like, and then she, shifts a gear and she gets, remember with Wendy,
sure, Paula.
When Wendy needed to go and she said, you don't leave me, you don't get off here, you're fucked. It's very similar.
Yeah.
She was like, and then she got, goes kind of dark all of a sudden. There's something to that.
I mean,
she does it a lot.
We've questioned about the reasons why they chose to bring it to the public forum. It's because you can go by either, so they were demanded to. Actually, she was demanded to, because the other one really isn't that involved. And then we have the making money off of it. We have the super chats, the whatever, on this situation, on the Wendy situation. And then once again, it came back up about the first part we talked about, the Tylenol 3. But then there was also a situation which is fucking horrible. And Sin, that Sin said her son was on hospice and in the room next to her, and he was taking his last breath.
Wow.
Uber has had a son that passed away, so
another
Uber was
pretty
sitting
neutral
with her,
person
was sitting with her and talking to her. And then Randy said that her husband had let his boss know that when this happened, they were going to go be with whoever, with the family. And my question is, so first of all, that's a low down, disgusting thing, and it shows just how mentally ill Sin is to do that. But second of all, so in the beginning, we had the Joe Elliott, that she'd had a baby with Joe Elliott. You know, obviously that didn't turn out to be true. Then when supposedly she was taking B to Def Leppard concert, B got all ready. Her husband thought he was going. They were waiting for their tickets. Never happened. It was a lie. On that situation, Bam said Randy and her had a little bit of an issue because Bam was like, Randy, she just devastated your friend.
Yeah.
Okay. So all of that, if you don't pass judgment on any of her decision making with any of that, you can at the very least realize that and I think it's within the last 6 months or a year, the whole hospice cancer thing with her son has been going on. You did not, first of all, there's no way you could have taken that at face value if you had seen nothing. You know what I mean? Like if you why would you believe this when all of this had been completely fabricated? It's one thing if you let her mod, you laugh with her, you talk with her. Apparently, sounds like you shared everything with her, and that concerns you too. But beyond that, why would you let, you need to go potty? Why would you let any other of your friends get that close to her? Why would you not tell Uber, hey, you don't even have to describe the lies. You just say she's been known to say things before that are not true. You know, you take that at face value.
Right.
I don't get it.
I don't think that there's a whole lot of content creators right now.
There's some reason why.
People are like, you know, Randy is whatever, and she's got a pretty loyal group of folks. But
I see you naturally vain. She came in and said it.
You can't really trust her.
Sorry,
you know? And the other thing, people, it's like all this about sin that Mandi, we all kind of knew it. We all kind of watched it, which is drama. Whether you believe it or not believe it, we don't have to get super close to sin. I remember when we were in Texas and Sin was going through something, I had actually had said, you know, hey, we're all here for you and all that at one point.
With Sin?
Yeah, in Texas. It was something else that was going on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so all this, that's she's one of Randy's mods and this and that, but everybody knows that she's pretty disturbed, and then the way that they just acted so sad, and they're genuinely surprised. It's like, oh, fuck off.
And
shut up with that.
You're right. Stitching says this pained Uber a lot. I imagine, just like with the little Rosie thing, I would imagine that Uber would have preferred anything for than this to play out publicly, because that was what she was so upset about when it came to Katie's panel that day when they were questioning her about her insurance. Uber, you could tell, was had the most compassion of anyone there, and even in this, Uber's always been nice to us. Like she's genuinely wants to stay pretty impartial. She wants to have her friends. She doesn't want anyone to expect her to not throw somebody out. She has her opinions and she makes them pretty. That's not the thing. That's neither here nor there. I can't believe she was made to think that Sin's son was passing away so soon after Uber had lost her hold. That's a whole different level of diabolical. I don't watch Randy. She does not like me writing in large letters. Melinda, that's probably true. That's probably true.
Everybody go write in large letters.
She's the only one on our platform that has had more time in service with YouTube and less subs. Yeah. Not speaking of us, because channel was created long after hers was created, but that's why it's a little bit stagnant.
Yeah, it's weird when somebody goes after your channel when you've had the channel about a quarter of the time that they've had it, and then do like a tenth of the work.
And Wendy had said something pretty interesting the other day when they were talking about why they're both normally on panels together. And Wendy said, because if Randy doesn't know what to say, I do, and when I don't know what to say, Randy does.
Right. So
that's common for couples.
That's right.
Right.
So
if I can't remember this and I'm like, this, I got it from your Starbucks.
But in their situation, they're both knowing. That's why when Wendy stumbles a little bit when she's like, I don't know about this. Really, she's trying to say, I don't know what direction you want me to go with this.
Because I don't know what happened.
Because I don't know. But they're really good at they'll put a narrative out there, and then they'll watch the comments and they'll see if their people are buying it. Wendy calls it vindication. Do you remember when I said on a stream, one of my vlogs, that you shouldn't have put that tweet up, Randy, about Mandi. And if you polled everybody, they would say the same. Randy will go to her people
and put up a poll
and say, let's do a poll. And knowing that her people are going to be the ones voting, and then turn back around and go, well, look what the poll said. And she still couldn't get 100%.
I like to do stupid polls.
I
like to ask crazy questions.
And even 1 in 10 of her own people were like, yeah, it was pretty fucked up what you did. So
we get told pretty routinely by our own people, like, I wouldn't have done that. And I'm like, if we had it to do over again, we probably wouldn't. Not a whole bunch of
Not a bunch of stuff, but
a few.
We've got, and the people who are closest to Mandi, it's not like we're the only channel that they watch.
Right.
It's not like Randy's mods and a lot of people's mods. They're exclusively their hug box.
Paul, I see up there.
If you know the people that show up with wrenches, they're out there. They're out in other people's chats too, and that's good. So they can come back to us when they're like, "Whoa, love you," but that's not good what y'all did, and we listen to that. It's important.
Yeah, for the most part. Hey, Mama Ricky, it's good to see you. I think that since it was brought out in the open, because we kind of stayed away a little bit from the Randy whole situation that has gone down with Sin. But sometimes I'm like, well, if you're going to bring it public and make an issue out of it on your panel, then why can't we do it on our panel?
Right, and they do it with this.
And we have opinions.
This fake faux emotion. They do this emotion.
And there's an arrogance about it.
That's right. This is how it's going to go, and you guys need to fall in line with this, or Randy, or you're fucked, as Randy said.
And you better not ask any questions in her chat that she doesn't like, because she's going to be nasty with you then too. I don't know. I mean, my point was that I tried to make that night, even before we knew about this, is that nobody believes that all of these situations, you didn't know what was going on, you didn't know what was happening. Nobody believes when you say, well, I try to stand for da-da-da-da-da. No, you don't, because you were loving on a troll that was telling me to KYS on a regular basis. So you don't stand for anything. Don't pretend you do, because you don't. Anyway.
I think this is a prediction. How many of you guys watch Glenda Sully? We like watching her. We like watching Glenda Sully. We think she's sillily, like so silly, full of crap. But she is who she is. She plays to her audience, but that is the direction that if Randy continues, and it seems to be very important to her channel, that's who she's going to end up being. She's going to have her people. She's going to have her faithful people. She's going to be able to beseech them for funds or whatever, like Glenda Sully does. And everyone kind of watches, it's like, look at this shit show, but
thank you, Ricky, Mom Ricky.
That's kind of where I see her going, because I don't think that Glenda Sully is somebody that gets in a lot of other chats and looks around her. She's really canalized to her own channel and the people that.
But she's a dry beggar for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But she has about a.
Hey, Presley.
She's way less subtle, but that's where this channel is heading. You got to get out and look around at what other people are saying sometimes.
I didn't realize how big of a troll that Glenda Sully was until she was stuck in the shower and said she didn't have her KY. And Karen was like, I was laughing, and Karen goes, she's totally trolling.
She's totally trolling.
And I was like, really? That soft little sweet thing, and her daughter has the same voice too. I'm like, at first when I used to watch her, I was like, oh, well, she's got stories, she's got a history. And then I saw that there's a whole band of people that hate her. And I was like, how can you hate this one?
I know.
But then I found out that there was other things.
You can like it and be interested. Like it and be interested in the channel if you just understand that it's not real life. They want you to think it's real life. Some of these channels want you to, even though, because your common sense tells you it's not true, or you remember something the other way, they're still fun to watch to see how they spin it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. The other thing, about someone said something, we talked about Glenda. Mama Ricky says, I don't trust Glenda. I used to, but something about her seems slightly off. I feel you. I'm intrigued by her. There's a few people that they're intriguing to me to watch, and they may not even necessarily be fans of ours. Sig's girlfriend, JP Benny.
Very funny to watch.
I'm intrigued, you know, and I'm not saying that's good, bad, nothing. I'm just intrigued watching her speak. There's a few people like that. People think that I watch a certain like genre or certain playlist of people. For the most part, yeah. But sometimes some of the people I watch, you probably have no idea who they are.
Maybe. Well, I mean, but you also watch stuff like First Court Appearances, which is real world drama because, like, for instance, when you're watching court appearances on YouTube and some guy's driving on a suspended license and he's clearly driving while he's at court.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't make that up.
Our Kansas, Butler County, Kansas live feeds that come out. There's sometimes people will pop up like Monday morning first appearances and they're still trying to come to and they're in their prison thing and Butler County is like talking to them and they go, I'm in Kansas? And they're like, yes, you are being arraigned in Butler County, Kansas. And they're sitting there going,
but I'm from Nebraska.
Yeah, like, and they're like, well, you are being charged for having the paraphernalia of da-da-da-da. And they're like, clearly.
It's more than just having the paraphernalia.
But it's funny when they do, and they're like, do you need an attorney? Well, yeah.
Well, what am I being charged with? I don't.
Yeah, it's like, one time one got arrested for a DUI, but was also going like 200 miles an hour through town in the middle of the night or something. Yeah, that would do it.
And they don't realize they're doing it. The ones that get me is like the guy that's driving with no license.
What's for supper, Presley?
He has a suspended license. He's driving. But even if you have a license, you shouldn't be looking at court while you're actually driving. You should be somewhere.
And the judge told him to park. You can't drive. And he goes, I won't be able to get to work. And so you see the judge going, you know, and then the bailiff goes, like he's going to tell someone to. They're pretty good. These little small counties in rural America, if you watch their court, like, and their divorces too. It'll be like, you know, Marion versus Marion or whatever. And they're on there and they're like, you know, we got the husband's attorney on first name basis with this attorney. The judge knows them both. The judge, you know what I mean? Like, because it's a small town divorce. It's a small county.
What was the one that, what's her name that we listened to?
Look, y'all.
Right before we came live, we were listening to her. She's been banned from YouTube, so someone sniped her.
Oh, Heather Inman.
You guys ever watch Heather Inman?
Stitching knows Heather Inman.
Oh my goodness. So what's the name of the girl that takes the Facebook and puts it on YouTube? Emerald Girl or something like that?
Oh, no. It's not Emerald Girl. That girl will skin you alive. She doesn't like us. Clean Urine Stash.
Clean Urine
Stash has a someone can, I know y'all watch it too, if someone can grab a link and put it in. Karen, do you know the Clean Urine Stash? Do you have that channel? I guess I could. I wasn't watching it just now.
It's Heather is back.
Mama Ricky is absolutely correct. She will show you her insides. How can she show you her insides? She will go get a snake cam that you're supposed to check your drains with. You can get them on Amazon. And
she's suing most of the doctors in her area for malpractice because they refuse to listen to her.
Meeting with the head of the FBI.
Meeting with the head of FBI. And it's worldwide news, you guys.
Yeah, we all know about it.
Half of the hip hop world is plotting against her.
And Alice Stark, we said. But yeah, she has these names for these people that she says, and it is sad. Don't get me wrong, it's sad. I would imagine she's in some sort of meth, even though she's big.
But the thing is, you can give it a watch without actively trolling her or actively speaking out against, because you know they're there to watch.
Yeah.
And they want people to watch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to know what Presley's making for dinner. I don't know what that means. I don't care, but then go back to your world. You mean like the when you see the craziness and then you just kind of fall? I don't know what that means. Could be.
Exactly. Yeah. Because then you can go back to your world.
She shoved a camera. Yes, it was a drain camera, you guys. She was going to show everybody. So she had her cell phone on flashlight, the drain cam, and she was going up. And Pirate and I laughed about this one when it happened. It was because it's been a while ago. This is how she lost her YouTube. She was saying, okay, so I'm almost to my cervix. Now I'm going to show you my liver. No, you're not. No, not through there. Quit pushing. No. Quit pushing. They're not connected. Don't do anymore.
So the other night we were listening to her try to explain to the viewers. She's got two guys that she sleeps with. One that she's like one that I'm trying to figure out the relationship, but she was trying to. I have to have respect for one guy because he's either had his child.
Lil
or something.
Joshua.
What's he doing?
No, Lil Joshua is her. She's got two baby daddy. Lil Joshua.
Two baby daddy. They're both baby daddies.
Is the other one Scoop?
And they don't like each other. And she's trying to explain to each one of them why she's cool with the other one. And they're both going, well, you can't sleep with both of us. You got to pick one. And she's like, well, I kind of can.
And super racist.
Yeah.
She's super racist.
Yeah.
You have to, I mean, she's not like, she's racist. She's not like comes out with slurs or stuff, but it's just a whole thing. Go to the Clean Urine Stash and check her out. She has been banned from YouTube. So she is only there, but sometimes like Snoop has been involved before. Oh, Snoop and Rihanna, I think at some point.
There's a bunch of them. And these are not obscure local hip hop artists. These are
Presley's having ribeyes on the grill.
Okay.
And baked potatoes.
How long would it take to
I don't think we can get there tonight.
We might be. Can you
That's
put
cool,
that
though.
off for another 8 hours?
Magic music. It's this girl. Hold on. I'm going to drop the thing just to at least one of the videos. Maybe not the channel, but
there she is.
I'm going to do the one with the dark skin. She's got one that says about dark skin girl.
Oh, she calls it Clean Team now.
That's not her. That's the.
Is another person that does it?
Well, they clip it together and get it off her Facebook. She's not allowed on YouTube. Hold on. I'm pasting it.
Well, that doesn't stop a lot of people from being on YouTube.
So that's one of the videos. This is a clip channel that posted that goes and gets her footage from Facebook and then puts it up over here. So that's one of them. But yeah, she's always talking about the dark-skinned girls did something, and it just lots of racist, bigoted stuff. And most of it goes on in her head. So it's not even based on...
She has biracial relationships, doesn't she?
Yeah. No, she says she does. I'm not sure. Gail Cord has an order of protection against her. Brent Spiner, the actor, alleged. Okay.
Wow.
Hey, Aspacia, joining to thank Sean for his service. I noticed the beast is on her false valor kick again, which disgusts me.
Thank you. I mean, I always know.
Hold on. She said she spent 30 years in DOD. I know what it goes through. Mm-hmm. I know what goes into those awards.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That is, that means a whole lot. I always can tell when I'm up, and especially because a lot of the stuff that gets talked about me, people are like, here she goes again. It never gets back to me. When she does the service thing, I tend to get a few comments, DMs, and things from people thanking me for my service. So that's kind of, and I appreciate y'all for that. I mean, I've said it a ton of times. We do a bunch of stuff in our life, and some we're proud of, some not so much. But my service is one thing that I got right. I got it right. Of it too. You know.
Yeah.
So.
It's pretty fucking cool. They said we'll give her this as much attention. That she's putting back up talking about drugs in the mail again. Listen, I didn't say we did. I said BAM mailed T3. Yeah. Sean would have done his responsibility. He would have said, excuse me, let me open.
I said, let's see what this is. Excuse me, ma'am. You cannot do this.
She's a bit of a nutcase. Okay. Mm-hmm. Just a little bit of a nutcase. So those of you who are subscribed to the Curly Coop YouTube page, I know you're like, I don't care about your chickens, but sometimes I put something cute up there. Mainly the stuff that I build. Like if we build something for them, I built them a new swing. Mm-hmm. I'm tempted. I think they might use it. It might need to come down. But
the cameras are coming.
The cameras are coming.
We're gonna figure out. We're gonna start with one camera.
And I'm gonna go through the footage. Thank you, Kay. Hey, Beast, get a talk. Kay. I'm gonna go through the footage. This is what some people do. If we have one pointing different directions because the cats play with them, then what you do is you just go through the footage and edit, and that's how you do it. Mm-hmm. That's how you put it together. There
are so many things that are out there that we get caught seeing, and none of us have our camera. Things like Ellie, our calico, will be playing with one of the chickens. Mm-hmm. You know, you see a cat playing with a chicken but there's Instagram and TikToks of chickens, and it seemed to be pretty popular. So the camera's coming. and we're going to try to figure out with one first because we got to figure out what we're doing. But I'd say that when we're all done with it, we'd like to probably have like 3 or 4 different angles.
Yeah, the voiceovers are going to be the big part of it because Sean and I can make it hilarious. We'll see them do a few things and then we put them into like a file on my phone, and then it's kind of a developing plot line. And then if we see someone doing what we need to do that part of it, we take it. I just have to devote time to it. Both of us do, but is it worth reading?
Yeah, I
mean, I saw it over there. I just couldn't see the whole thing.
We can read it.
Okay, Penny, Jess Penny. She has serious mental instabilities. She said I was Paula, her enemy, even though you clearly see my name. And I emailed her that has my entire name on it. What a weirdo. Yeah, there's some serious paranoia and psychosis with that one.
You know, I just give a bit of advice. Don't watch it. There's a group of people that have kind of give her a pass because they don't like us because we've crossed them or they've crossed us. Those are the people that like talk about us or whatever. It don't bother us. I mean, that Penny that you just mentioned, she will destroy everything around her, even those that are trying to help her, even those that are riding with her. She will eventually humiliate them. She will eventually cross them, and she will. There's no one
that's is above her.
She just doesn't understand it.
She has no use for anybody. Let me remove that. Someone really wanted us to fart, but I don't need to.
Well, if we'd come on about 8:30 after I eat over there, I could probably do it. Maybe I'll do it as a short or something.
Doobie says, did she ever tell her kids about her supposed terminal illness, that she was dying of an illness which apparently kills everyone beyond the age of 60? She circled back to that a few weeks later and said that she was speaking of the disease bipolar disorder, that her life expectancy estimate was based on what she researched was taking that in consideration, like people taking their own lives or things like that. So that was the terminal illness. So I don't know.
Newsflash: bipolar is not a terminal illness.
Her henchwoman has blocked everyone on our side, so everyone commenting on her chat has a wrench. I know. It's insane. It's like nobody is allowed to say anything outside that. It's like her bad behavior, and she's insulated with her 4 people that nobody would have anything to do with on the outside. And we're ready for her to shave her head. We're living
That's probably
for it.
coming.
It's green.
Oh, is the hair green?
The hair is green.
Oh yeah. I remember it was a pretty green head of hair.
That's what this person said. What about shaving her head? Do you mean like the story of what happened? She shaved her head.
Yeah, way before YouTube, we were living in the address. We were neighbors from the person. Our neighbors, we had a condo, it was like a duplex, and we lived there. And the person that I said that she was sending people from her call-in show, it was that residence, and she was sending them to that neighbor. We were living there, and she dyed her hair a couple times, and it ended up like Kermit the Frog green. I mean, not even
it's like that now.
And she ended up shaving it, and then saying it was for locks of love, and it was because because of cancer or something like that. That was what. And this was before she was on YouTube.
Was it falling out at all?
No, she shaved it off.
No, I know, but was there clumps of bald spots prior to her doing it?
From what?
From her, she says from her
she never
heavy
had
duty medication.
She never had any therapy or any medication or any chemo or anything that would preclude that narrative. Never.
You're never going to get anywhere if Boho's in there, because that one is a mean doxing it fool. She keeps saying she's going to take us to court, but she's in Canada. So
I always say, I say this to Mandi occasionally, and I'll say it to y'all now. There will be other platforms that try to come for me or come for us using her. like saying how we communicate with her. I don't at all. This is about all you'll get. But they rally for her and talk about their disdain or their contempt or why they don't like Mandi and I. And if they involve her, give her a pass, or say they don't like me or her in relation to something that they accuse me of doing,
Sawyer.
I tell Mandi and I tell everybody, let them go with that narrative. Let them ride with it. It's going to come to a dead end. They're going to look dumb. It never makes me worried. I never get anxious about that. Because they will always invoke her to get at Mandi and I, and it will always end up being egg on their face every single time. So
yes. Okay.
There's that.
I was looking for something. Sawyer's bumping me with his nose, which usually means he needs to go out right now. I'm gonna fall for it and have Sean take him out.
I'm gonna take out.
Just went out.
Let's come on.
Because you
mom
knows
there's a party going on down the street. So
don't let him go. You mom dogs know that they have certain things that they do when they have to make certain types of potties. Boobs are out already.
He waits. He's like, no, I don't want you to take.
I know he likes me to take him outside because Sawyer does, because he can mosey on. They're having their cookout down the street today. They're going to be making us something yummy, like they always do. They say what? We beg for it, steal for it. No, they just give it to us. They like us. They think we're cool. So the other day when you could go in literally like every hour when that bullshit was going on about this picture that someone sent or whatever, you could guarantee that in a certain amount of time that Sean's name was going to be said an enormous amount of times, that she was triggered, she was this, she was that. So most people who are triggered by a picture that looks like, in this instance, their ex-husband's phallus, she says, the best thing to do is not to keep opening it and looking at it. You don't have to look at it and stare at it and look at it and stare at it and go off, unless of course it's fake. You're a YouTube actress, that's your content, and you really don't feel that way. I'm at least hoping that's the case, because if you truly are as absolutely obsessed still as you say you're not, then you have a long ass way to go before anybody is going to be able to handle being with you when you can't move past Clint and Sean. And then when they find out that you've thrown about half of the men you've ever interacted with in jail for one reason or another, and that you falsely accuse men of domestic violence, you're not going to have a lot of takers. Oh, and then there's the ones that don't want a girlfriend whose mom has to see naked pictures of her all over Google. Nobody wants to see that in a daughter-in-law. That's just icky. Unless you're famous, but no, not just a trashy North Carolinian. I don't think so. Now let me see where I catch up. Yeah, it was the third wedding anniversary. I agree. Like, I can't help how long we've been married. It's just what's going to happen when it's 5, 10, 15. What's going to happen then? Also, it was pretty ridiculous of her to say that you were driving while impaired because my pupils look just like yours and I'm not impaired. Subutext does the same thing to pupils. Many others do too. So I was on Suboxone for 4 years. I haven't been on Suboxone since December of, listen to me, December 4 years ago, right? The December before December 4 years ago. And in addition to that, hold on, let me see. I don't know. Was it maybe because I didn't have any sunglasses on and it was bright? I really don't care. I don't pay too much attention to the stupid shit she says unless it makes me laugh. When she says something absolutely ridiculous, like a question, do you find your marriage to be fixable? And her answer is, well, my ex-husband still definitely is in love with me, because why else would he let another woman talk about me? That was what she said, but this is who's coming to visit. I think, Presley, are you still here? Don't fly away. Don't fly away. Don't fly away.
So you gotta grab his wing like this.
I know, but the black one is always my buddy. Okay, this right here is Presley. Hold on. You can flap. You can flap. There you go. This is Presley. Presley is a Bantam Silky.
These are our 2 oldest birds, by the way.
So they're full grown. This is Diva Silky. Show Diva Silky.
This is Diva Silky. So when you guys like to see some stuff with them?
You see them? Look.
You gotta hold it.
I know you're better with them than I am. Hold on. There you go.
Let me see. I'll take them. Come on, baby.
Look at him. It's the chicken whisperer. There are.
See, this is how you hold them. Look at them.
I don't hold them very well. I've got
Oh, guys, let's go back out.
So that's Presley and Diva Silky. But okay, so let me see. Are you talking about that drunk woman? You have to assume that most of the time she is.
Tiny is staring in the door.
He's like, those are my girls. Is he
staring in the door? Yeah.
Is he mad?
Yep.
Make him crow. We've got several roosters now, but they all get along, so that's good. Anyway, what was I talking about, or what would you like to hear me talk about? When you are in the bright, your pupils get very small, and when the dark they enlarge light. She's obviously illiterate. Well, I just was making my fun little thing, you know, right? I love No Doubt. So I was writing, it was a pretty day, I was blowing bubbles, and I thought, why not record it and put it to...
He tried so hard.
What was he doing?
Just for me not to pay attention so that he could go to the neighbors to where the party was. He was like, he'll look, and then he'll just kind of sit. Then he'd
Is it a big party?
No, but you know, they have a lot of them.
So. Let's see. Oh yeah, hello Tiny. Yes, Melinda is a Tiny fan. We might, and it would
He's literally staring in the front door.
He's staring in there right now? He's
well,
probably because he's ready
when
for
I
us
took
to
the
feed him.
silkies in, he was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Let me see. They do still lay eggs. So the oldest ones we have that are good layers are the Americanas. Are they 2? Sean, are the Americanas 2 yet? No.
Not quite.
Okay. They're pretty faithful layers. The sex links, the black sex links, are now old enough to start laying too. And so we're thinking some of these, because they look slightly different, might be like different like chickens or whatever, but not different enough yet for us to know. It says, do you feed them pasta and beans and stuff? I've tried, not pasta, but I've tried to give them like green beans, like cooked green beans. They don't want anything to do with that.
They like peanuts.
They love peanuts, mealworms,
These
diced apples. They liked, cherry tomatoes.
Did they like the apple? You cut an apple?
I cut it with the onion cutter. You guys, I was using the onion cutter. If y'all seen though, it like slices it if you push it through almost like an apple, but I used an apple because I wanted the apple to be cut like that. So I was trying to pull it out and like cut my fingers all up, but I just washed them off and kept it moving because I'm a grown-up, right?
Yes.
Kaki's here. Hello, Kaki. Let's see, stitching. I'm trying to see what they said it would slow down. I guess the egg laying. Hold on.
It slowed down a little bit because they're molting, and we weren't sure. We thought that maybe they were laying somewhere else because we didn't get it.
He wants to play with her.
Any eggs for a few days, and and their feathers were everywhere. So I read about the molt, and a lot of times when they're molting, they don't lay because they're losing their feathers, and they need a lot of protein. You know.
So you got to
get
11.
A lot of protein for a good shell, and they will use all the protein in their body for their feathers before they'll lay an egg. So if they've got to use all the protein for their feathers, then they won't lay.
But they said last year when remember day 1, Tiny got the hussy got him? Mm-hmm. They said the best time for that to happen is during molting because they're already generating their new feathers. That system's like already going. So
I'll show them today's eggs.
It's good to see you, Reachable. We let them free range. Yes, we do. The neighbors all know our chickens.
Look at these big old eggs, man.
They're not, we haven't washed these yet, but
these are the latest ones that we just got.
We're pretty sure the sex link are laying those, right?
Yeah. I want to just figure out what exactly.
You get a ponytail holder. Oops,
see,
sorry.
like this one's a little different than this one.
You can sit if you want.
So this is probably 2 different chickens, if you can tell the difference. So, but they're big old eggs too.
They're like, I boiled. We finally had to break down because we didn't have enough of them and buy some eggs, which is embarrassing when you have a ton of chickens. But we boiled them because
I kind of like that. You know, like we have chickens, but we bought eggs. When I lived at the beach, I would never go to like Kroger and buy fish. I just wouldn't do it.
Because it was in the water?
Because, well, and plus they have fresh fish markets too. So I never understood, and I guess they have to do it. Going into Kroger, that's literally a mile from the beach, and buying, say, mahi that they imported from South America. You know, when mahi is right out off the coast and all the local fish shops have fresh mahi or fresh grouper, why you would go to, you know, to Kroger to buy it.
We have some in the freezer right now.
Yeah, but we don't live at the ocean, so.
Yeah, so, hey, Reachable said, hey, Mandi Curly, I have to call you that because someone said it's not true. I know.
Isn't that crazy?
I was like, Lord, my last name's not Curly. Yeah, sometimes when you hear things like that, you think that must have slipped out. Surely she didn't mean to say that because that was a dig she was trying to make, but it like just, she missed a key part of it because it didn't flow.
Speaking of that, I have to get a tattoo. I want to get a tattoo. I don't have to. Show them yours again. This is, my next tattoo is going to be a Mandi tattoo. I just need ideas. Maybe, I'm thinking that I'm just going to put it here.
I wish I could do it like that.
Because this arm's got tattoos, this one doesn't. But I might do Mandi. I might do identical.
You said you might do
ATX.
ATX. One time you was going to do that.
I was gonna put that, like, if I ever become like a big time celebrity, I'll
Is she's triggered already on this beautiful Saturday night? Go get that coin I made you.
Is it right over here? I think it is.
And your last coin from the
coin you gave me is not over here.
It was. Is it not anymore? Oh, I know exactly where it is. That's okay. So yeah, he might do ATX. My pups are calling. Go take them for a walk, Yoga. We love you. Would get pissed off at me. Do you want a bracelet for $5? No, thank you.
Who said that?
Just someone in the chat. Maxine says, not funny. It was a kid in the 60s and the 70s, the eggs were white. Now in the last 20, 30 years, they're all brown. So they used to bleach them to turn them white. Now my understanding is they're coloring them to turn them brown because people associate brown with fresher eggs.
Yeah, when you go to the grocery store and you open those eggs up and they're super pearly white, that's not their original color. And when you get eggs in the grocery store, they're normally at least 3 or 4 weeks old when you get them.
Oh, I thought you said sometimes 2 months.
More.
Yeah.
But at least if you get a 3-week-old egg, that's really super fresh, grocery store standards. That's why eggs that you pull out of the nesting box and eat taste so much better. Remember your dad was saying how good they were when we made them that morning.
Yes. Someone was asking earlier about the Silky's new digs, like their own little area or whatever. We have the galvanized thing on order. We just have to get the top part for it.
We actually bought a coop.
I'm gonna get the coin. Can I get the coin?
Yeah. We actually did buy a coop about a month ago, or the beginning of this, or whenever. It was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We bought a coop for him, and then as we were we had to put it together. So it was in a box, and as we were looking around the yard, it was a little bit bigger than we wanted because if all the silkies, we've got 4 baby silkies and then the 2 that y'all saw, we'd have 6. So we need to have a place that can accommodate enough space for 6, but doesn't take up too much space. And we've already got 2 coops out there, you know. So the next thing we're going to get is kind of a fence. So if they can't free range for a while, or there's something around where we don't want them out, because that happens sometimes. Sometimes we know that there's a dog in this, that's coming up and down the street, or we see a hawk or something. They're out there, and so we're going to put something together where we can put them in like a enclosure, but with enough space, like maybe a 12 by 12, like fenced area with with like a net on top.
Because they can't jump, but things can get to see them.
Yeah.
You don't have the one from Dog Troop over there? Was it not there?
I gave it to you, I thought.
You did, but I thought that's where we kept it. Anyway, we'll keep it moving. I'm going to sit up. I'm going to stand up. Okay. So when I started talking to Sean, you just go snort some more Adderall. Look, I'm just saying, and that was why I was like, I'm going to put my payment methods up there where you can tip us. Because if you're going to talk about Sean's junk all day, why shouldn't I and Sean get a benefit? It is about him.
It's my junk.
He needs the royalties. We put it towards better things. We're not going to lie and say it's for, I'm going to buy some sliced hot dogs so that I can put, we're not going to do that. Anyway, when I found out through streaming, the very first time I ever saw them stream together, it was pretty clear. It was something like they were streaming in the old condo. This was during the Amy Slayton days, with like a Christmas tree in the corner. She'll go cry about it later because it's whatever, this story she says about it. But anyway, and it was pretty clear by where they lived, how they talked, the way Sean's hair was, that it was some sort of military couple. Then he mentioned he's retired. I'll have to come back and, no worries, Gigi. I didn't even see what was said. I hope everybody, y'all usually are pretty good about working it out in the chat. So, thank you. Thank you, Presley. You're amazing. Thank you. All of you. It makes me, anyway. So I used to, when I found out he was an officer, when he did the Truthfully Trisha's husband breaks his silence, right? And he did his stream. I don't even know. It had like 15. Was it 15,000, Sean?
For what?
Your Truthfully Trisha's husband breaks his silence, that one vlog?
It's like 12 or 13.
Okay. So I don't even know if it's still public or not. But anyway,
I don't have it.
I looked at it and I heard him speak. You can sit down if you want. And I heard the way that he spoke and the things that he said, because she had said he was an officer. He was a retired officer, whatever. And I had gone, well, whatever. And I was married to an enlisted person. So that's my only qualification is that. I'm not. And then I heard him speak. I thought it was pretty freaking hot. I will give that. I thought, wow, he's a nice looking man. But beyond that, I was like, I'll be damned. He is an officer. Like the way he spoke and the way I was like, he's an officer. So after that, still probably not appropriate to text Captain Curly in retrospect because he's retired. I don't work for him and I really just thought it was sexy. I mean, let's be honest, right? So even there was nothing going on romantically, that probably was not appropriate. Do we give a shit? No. Do y'all give a shit? Probably not.
No.
So I used to be like, that was the way I talked to him. So when he separated, like y'all know, that night I was texting him, was on the up and up because we hadn't crossed over. It was whatever. So
if you listen really close, you can hear my phone going dee-dee, dee-dee.
And I figured, he won't, answer, but just, hey, we're thinking of you, or hey, whatever. We being the familial unit of a former active duty couple.
Yep.
So anyway, I did absolutely send him money. I sent him money to take his daughter out to eat. When he was in Cincinnati, it was like $80. I didn't send him money the night he got kicked out because he didn't need it. Other people helped him out.
Yeah, there was a few people that did.
So, okay, so that's the backstory on why I called him Captain Curly. And then, I wanted to give him something to, like a challenge coin. In the military, they're called challenge coins. Some of those were what we watched her flush down the toilet that day. Those were some of his challenge coins. They must not have been the really nice ones because we have the other ones.
They're just the ones that she took. Like
it's weird. But it was like your dog tags and a few challenge coins.
The knife. Then you say you see a knife on there.
Yeah, the knife. So anyway, I had this made because we always thought it was really, really freaking cool that we met as users on YouTube. Whatever that meant, that's what it was. So Sean's always liked the ATX name. He thinks it's kind of hot because it was associated with me. He didn't know it was a town. So I got him this. I got it from Camp Mabry.
Is it on there? Is it that side? No, it's the other side.
Well, this is I'm going to unveil. So it's United States Army. And on the back, it's the captain rank.
And if you look real close, like
it says
right.
Mrs. ATX.
Yeah.
underneath.
Yay.
So that is that I gave that to him when we met. That's what made it so. Melinda, I don't think so. I think she's refusing it.
Yeah, that's part of. It's pretty common if you do research on certain mental illnesses, that part of the cycle of certain mental illnesses is they don't think that they need the medicine, medication. It's
a weird dynamic to some of the disorders because I have no problem. There's never a time when I start thinking I don't need to take it.
Yeah, me neither.
So that you think that I don't need to take it. So that's where that came from.
Or the medications that I took, I have to. Mine are more for physical things though, like Synthroid is because my thyroid's wonky.
And he likes the Advil dual action now. Is it Advil dual action? Mm-hmm. They put Tylenol in it, which you would think, okay, well you could take one of each. This makeup makes it work really well. Yes, she's had the same shirt for 4 days. Very true. Some nasty bastard is buying her shirt.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, also AdSense hit yesterday.
Yeah.
AdSense hit yesterday. So if you are paid
2 days ago
if you are paid by YouTube, you were paid yesterday.
Right.
So keep that in mind on the e-begging that she was just
Thursday evening. It was about 6 hours later than it was normally.
Okay.
So we were thinking it would be the next day, but it just ended up being in the evening.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Depending on, and then the cycle starts again. She'll be doing her 24-hour streams or whatever.
Reachable says she only made $56. Well, she wouldn't even have got a check.
You wouldn't have gotten a check.
You gotta make at least 100 for you to make the threshold. So that was probably a little fib that she told so that people would help her out. But so let's say that you have a month where you only make like $40. It'll roll over to the next month, and then so when you get to $100 the month, you'll get a check. So some people that don't do a lot of content, it might take them 2 months to get to 100. But you don't lose.
It's hurting my head.
If you take a month off or whatever, and there's only $40 or $50, you don't lose that. You just don't get a check cut until you make the $100 threshold the next month.
So you'll never ever get one for 56.
No, you won't do that.
Never. In fact, if it's less than 100 and you lose your account, I've heard you don't get any of it. But if you do get any of it, it's only if you made that threshold.
She was able to get some yeast to make. I'm not even going to go there with that.
A thigh master. Oh, I remember Thigh Master. She got herself a Thigh Master.
What did she do? Go take the $56 and spend it probably at a pawn shop?
No, she probably sold a picture of her butthole again.
Oh.
So that's so funny. We're gonna stick around for a few more minutes because we're gonna get as much time with you guys before football starts, and I curled my hair.
She did curl.
I didn't really curl it.
That's an inside joke. See,
they
just looked at how when she said that, I went, ooh.
We're gonna make Christmas cards.
We
are going to figure out how to get every single animal we own into one picture. Whether we have to use wash tubs with the chickens and whatever else we have to use. We're gonna make it be like a frazzled picture on purpose. You know what I mean? Like dress up kind of. More metro.
Jude was like, me too, me either. Yeah, that, the whole yeast thing kind of, there's a bunch of people that were like, oh, I got a joke for that. Kay's like, go Cowboys. I have my fantasy football league. I do have Dak Prescott as one of my quarterbacks. So there's that. So I cheer for the Cowboys a little bit this year.
I've never cheered for the Cowboys.
She's a Seahawks fan.
Yeah.
Falcons are 2-0.
It's pretty freaking weird when your husband's ex-wife knows you like the Seahawks, but whatever. Okay, so yeah, I do still like the Seahawks. Sean is obviously a Falcons fan. When they're playing, I'm right there with them, cheering on it, doing whatever. Absolutely. And when they win, I actually do have a smile because he likes it when they win, and it's so rare. But he's never broken any TVs or anything when they didn't, so I can confirm that's a lie. Right? That's a lie. You guys, we're almost to the end of September. So this is going to be something good for people to laugh at or to review. We're going to make chicken calendars, all right? I think we've already said this before, but we're going to make chicken calendars, 12-month chicken calendars, and every single part of the proceeds are going to go to the 22 a day or an organization that we vet. That's seriously, and we'll provide receipts. But it's going to have Tiny in it. It's going to have some of the best pictures in it, and it'll be like what do you call that? Like a drop ship where someone else makes it, Sean, and sends it to him. Like it's like a fundraising kind of way that you do it. You know what I'm talking about. So we're gonna do that. I'm trying to see.
I have a friend that's gonna be in charge of taking in all the money. Her name's Diane. No, I'm just kidding.
He's such a bad boy. But anyway, hey Penny, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. But yeah, just that the only like bow to tie at the end of the thing I was saying before is for if anyone asks a question,
Tiny is a star.
That's hard. I would think that I wanted to like revisit that Daria is the last person that would be trying to cause trouble by asking.
Yeah,
I mean, that was what I walked away not like feeling like I hadn't like made my point.
Daria is, she's.
It's not like a bitch asking.
She's pretty neutral about everything. Yeah. I think she slipped onto our chat when we talked about having a YouTube Big Brother. She said that she would rent the place for a month or whatever if we got it together. So
it was funny. It would have been an interesting thing. Aspexia says she got the Thigh Master at the thrift shop because she's making a big deal about clearing crap out of her house. Oh Lord. Well,
everyone. I mean, you could probably go to any neighborhood. Just at the garbage in any subdivision, and you'll find a Thigh Master or two.
Yeah,
They're there.
If I don't like clutter. If anything, he knows. If it sits around too long, it's going to be hitting the road. Whether it be old sheets, not tie-dyed shirts. There were no tie-dyed shirts.
She said she didn't.
They didn't come with you. I didn't throw his tie-dyes out. I didn't throw his tie-dyes out. No.
She didn't do it.
We're gonna wrap up the chickens. Mm-hmm. If you or someone you know
there's been physical
doesn't
contact.
like watching us as a couple and the affection we show because you might have used to have a legal document, the best thing that you can do is not watch.
Don't watch. See, the thing that happens when we have physical contact is we have to go.
We love you guys. Have a good night.
See you guys.
Bye. Thank you for everything, by the way.
You guys are great. Thanks for all the donations.
Thank you. Bye, guys.